come to the WNBA. No fault of Caitlyn's at all. But in the end, because of her greatness and because people were resistant to it.
ESPN, your anti-Caitlin Clark agenda on full display. Going on and on about how that needs to be a flag.
Previously, when you see they cut off the play early, Angel Reese actually shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back to get a rebound.
They said it was just tough defense. They said Clark had to earn her stripes. But now, exclusive courtside footage has blown that narrative wide open, revealing what fans have feared for weeks. Caitlin Clark is being targeted, and the Indiana Fever is under silent siege. The cameras don't lie, and what they've captured is disturbing. The official broadcast did not include the footage that caused social media to go crazy. Raw, uncut, and unavoidable, it was from a courtside fan video.
Never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing.
The ratings, gate revenue, it's not close. She's a media-created rival. ESPN played right into it with that flagrant foul.
It demonstrated what many had surmised but were unable to confirm at the time. Clark was being continuously jostled, pushed, elbowed, and taunted, not out of rivalry, but with obvious malice. The video shows Clark fighting through a screen at one point and getting hit in the ribs with his forearm. The referees, quiet. In another, an opposition veteran jaws at her after she makes a three-pointer. The exchange that was captured after the whistle, however, was what really had people talking. A group of opposition players appeared to be planning rough plays, with one of them mouthing the words, "She needs to be hit." Take a moment to process that. This is no longer gritty basketball. Caitlin Clark, the most well-known rookie the league has ever seen, is directly targeted by this animosity.
Because people were hating on her because of her elevated popularity and the fact that she had gone at Caitlin Clark that way.
So Caitlin Clark is sitting there with her hands up like, "You're gonna call that?" So then, yes, she went and fouled Angel Reese.
What about the league? Crickets. No egregious fouls. Nothing to say. No penalties. No responsibility. This feels like treachery to gaming fans. It is indignant to Clark fans. It's a dreadful situation for the Fever organization as well. As a player who broke collegiate records, attracted millions of spectators, and ignited national discussions about women's basketball, Clark entered the WNBA as a generational talent. She introduced the sport to millions of additional viewers, sponsors, TV deals, and merchandise sales. And now, as a result, she is being punished.
But loving the fact that they're being allowed to compete. We should not judge women competing against one another differently than we would judge.
Foul. It was not a flagrant foul with the intent to hurt somebody.
A firestorm was sparked by the video. Major announcers, WNBA icons, and NBA legends all had something to say. Even impartial onlookers were unable to dispute what they were witnessing. One former player remarked, "She's being hunted out there, and the referees are allowing it to occur." Stephen A. Smith of ESPN burst onto the air, saying, "This is hardly a physical play. This is intentional targeting, and before this becomes a PR catastrophe, the WNBA had better wake up. On national television, you cannot allow your biggest celebrity to be treated like a crash dummy." Even seasoned WNBA fans acknowledged they were taken aback. "You can't have it both ways," one commenter said. "You desire attention from the public, the spotlight, and the ratings. The players who bring that attention should therefore be protected." But Clark isn't the only one. Her treatment raises questions about the culture of the league. Caitlin's fame has been weighing heavily on the Indiana Fever, who are just emerging from rebuild mode and attempting to withstand hostile fans and nightly on-court thrashings. Up until today, they have largely remained silent. "They're trying to break her," a Fever assistant coach was heard stating on a hot mic in an uncommon move. It's clear. Additionally, the league is simply ignoring it.
At the moment, I got it. The fact that the Sky was getting romped by 35 certainly didn't help matters.
We've all played basketball. You know when you shove somebody in the back that the ref's gonna blow the whistle and call the foul? Well, the ref didn't call the foul.
Say a word about a flagrant foul prior to going to break, by the way, after the supposed hard foul.
Internal concerns have since been submitted to the WNBA office, according to many sources within the Fever organization. Those objections have not yet been handled. Other rookies, such as Rickea Jackson, Cam Brink, and Angel Reese, have also observed the season's tone. "No one deserves to be bullied for bringing attention to the game," Reese said in a public statement in support of Clark against the hate. Even league veteran Brianna Turner recently warned against the dangerous trend of jealousy disguised as defense on social media. What is causing this, then? It's resentment, they say. More media attention, money, and hype around Clark's league debut than most athletes ever experience in their careers. That attention can lead to resentment. Some claim it's an internal conflict between the ostentatious new generation and the traditional veterans. Others think it has to do with control, marketability, or race.
With some LeBron James-looking flops if I ever saw them. By the way, Caitlin Clark, a triple-double, 20 points.
To numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time.
However, one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark is being singled out, regardless of the cause. Furthermore, the WNBA's silence is getting louder. Action is being demanded by fans. Right now, the hashtag #ProtectCaitlin is trending on all of the main platforms. YouTubers, experts, and lawyers have already analyzed the video. Even non-basketball sports media figures, like as Colin Cowherd and Pat McAfee, are criticizing the league. Cowherd remarked, "I don't care if you're a fan of Clark or not. It's not letting them play if you're allowing your biggest star to be beaten up every night without any protection. That is sabotage."
They're all super talented. But if we're gonna talk about them, we have to talk about them like we talk about any other sport.
I don't think it's much ado about anything. I think both of you are 100% correct in terms of not only attributing it to competition.
Clark, meanwhile, is calm, expert, concentrated. However, she has also alluded to the wear and tear that occurs behind the scenes. After one game, she remarked, "I just play hard. I anticipate physical play. However, there is a distinction between trying to harm someone and competing. Like a siren, that line, 'trying to hurt someone,' keeps coming up on various platforms. The WNBA is now in control of the situation. Will the league act quickly? To make it clear that being a superstar isn't an excuse for mistreatment, would it impose penalties, cautions, or suspensions? Or will it keep downplaying the issue in the hopes that the commotion will subside before it has an impact on ratings? The future of the league might be at stake. Since this isn't solely a Clark issue, it's a cultural issue. And the message is plain if you don't check it. If you shine too bright, we'll dim you the hard way.
Jason Whitlock, other than jealousy, what is Reese's motivation for animosity towards Clark? I said she's jealous AF. She sees the attendance.
Was that Caitlin Clark was actually reacting to a foul that should have been called on Angel Reese against Aaliyah Boston.
That too, okay? But the reality of the situation is clear. I think it was a basketball play.
No official comment has been issued as of yet. However, insiders claim that talks are taking on behind closed doors. We're reviewing cameras. They are rereading the complaints. Additionally, the league office is frantically trying to prevent a crisis that is now playing on every screen in America rather than simply being a whisper. The video doesn't lie, that much is certain. The world has now witnessed it. Caitlin Clark is avoiding a target in addition to carrying a franchise. Fans may begin to wonder who is actually playing defense and who is just playing dirty if the WNBA doesn't step up.